Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 5 to 8 Wednesday night, and last night was Tuesday night, and of course my mind was all over the place, and I said it was Monday night. That's what happens, and I know well it was Tuesday, but I'd make a bad prosecution witness, I think I said before. I'd say the wrong thing. Today, it was good racing at Punchestown. We had a winner there, but earlier, Queen's Brook, who we have in our long-term Cheltenham bet from, when was that, last October, November. It had an interrupted campaign last year, according to Gordon Elliott, and it finished second. And this year, on yielding ground or on good ground, it's way better horse. The time it was bet in Limerick, 'twas bogged deep that day, and it won well enough today. I know it was getting weight, but it done it well, and it was cut from 12s into 7s, but I think it's 8s and maybe 9s in some places yet. But it keeps the hope alive that we might get a run for our money in a few weeks' time in Cheltenham. And Barry O'Connell had a nice winner today as well. It gives his yard a boost with him with Marine National and Good Land, because he had a few losers lately, and it's good to see a yard in form hitting the big time with the big stage in a few weeks, especially a small yard. We had the connector that hard work with. I didn't know what he was going to do coming to the last. I thought he was going to put down altogether, but a big old green baby, yes. He upped up 9-4 last night, so that was the one I was sweetest on today. It was a pity Hard Target didn't even get placed, because it done me out of the place pot, and it paid 160 quid. I think there was 28 tickets riding on Hard Target on. So it wouldn't have been, could have been like 150 quid if he had been placed. I didn't put down favourite on the docket, of course, or I'd have done online. I don't know what happened on that ground. I thought it'd definitely be placed anyway. But and we're outstayed on the flat with what do you call that one? Ollie Murphy's yoke, outstayed First Emperor. But the bumper, I didn't see that either yet, and I didn't see. There was a few winners given out today. Paul Manton's nap was landed. Midnight Reflection, Willpower, Soldier, Solid. That was second year in a row Pat Flynn won that particular race. That was 11-2 into 4-1, and when Flynn puts the money down, always take note. And Tony Hutton, I think, had tipped up with Hold. It was a big price earlier that I think that was 33s or 40s. Held on for second. It was an old favourite of mine a few years ago. Remember back in the day, the Cesarovich, was it, or the Cambridgeshire, years ago. It's getting on like myself now. But anyway, we have to keep plodding on. Tomorrow, 3 bus horses. First one is at 2:30, King Ferdinand. Maxine O'Sullivan is riding it for her dad, Eugene O'Sullivan. This won for us over course and distance the 20th of October last year. I think we had a nice price, 5 or 11-2 or something at the start. Then it ran in Galway in October, but to soft to heavy. And we'd all favourite that day. Ran well enough, but the ground seemingly was totally against it. It's good to yielding again tomorrow. And then the last day it didn't stay and went off 7-2 favourite. That was the 18th of December. It's back to 2 miles 5, the same distance as the last time it won. Maxine will be familiar with it. This is a qualified riders race, so there's a lot of riders that we wouldn't have heard about before in this. Some of them nearly want to be strapped on to get around, I'd say. I thought we were 6-1 there earlier, so I thought we'd back that each way. There's 5 places in a lot of. There's 6-1. It's an open contest, so with bit of experience and at the track and the ground similar to when it won, you'd be expecting it to go, well enough tomorrow that we get at least a run for our money anyway. There's 2 on the Goo. Then a lot of people don't like the Goo, so you can bypass these, but some people do. There are 2 bus horses. Liberated Lad. This won a couple of times for us, and it ran over 2 miles the last day, and he didn't get going in time at Lingfield. And the surface, he seems to be better in Southwell, because he won in Southwell on the 20th of January, mile 6, and then mile 5 on the 24th of January, just second over 2 miles the last day. Ben Sanderson is back on it again. Could be a little bit short, maybe, but he does seem to handle the track. I prefer now if it was a mile 6, but this was a mile 3 when he won 24th of January for us. And he actually went out to 6s that day and was punted on 6s into 2s.
Harmony Satellite on the wide outside ahead of Central City as they all fan out across the track. Nine Elms looking for racing room. Corsini is under heavy pressure. Right over on the far side, the red and white of Liberated Lad being produced with a chance. Miss Harmony down the stand side, and Sun Festival still giving plenty in the middle of the course as well. Final furlong ahead of them now. Miss Harmony leads over on the far side. Rockabill Angel and Liberated Lad. Liberated Lad, after a 2-day rest, is back on song and wins well. Liberated.
So I think he was 5-1 earlier, 4-1 across the board now. The horse he's up against there is going for 4 in a row as well. It's carrying top weight. It's a course horse as well, but we'll have to stay on that. And then a horse that we won on a couple of times, and it's a reformed character since it dropped in trip, Kraken Power. It was only 2 nights ago. It was a closing second when we went for Johnny Levins's horse. But if you look at his, when he was rated in the 80s, 6 furlongs all the time. There's only 1 run at 5 furlongs there in Musselburgh. But back at tomorrow night, his favourite, Mulrennan, is back on him. Anyone that backed him before, 13 to 8, 7 to 4 in that bracket. And there's one horse then. I had a horse tipped up there and didn't run, Rooster Cogburn, but it's a very trappy race. It's only 5 furlongs, and I'd prefer him to be at 2 miles. If it's 2 miles, it'd be sweet on him. But this is 2 miles 3, and he ran at the track before, and he got tired nearly at 2 miles. So I give it a miss. I think, but anyone can have a look at it. But I thought Legendary Day, it has only ran twice over hurdles, and it was fairly good on the flat. It was in the 80s, and first time out over hurdles, it drifted out to a big price. Brian Hughes was on it, and it won at the track, same course and distance as tomorrow.
To keep up, so they're at the top of the hill, less than half a mile to go. 2 to jump, and Houdini has made every yard of it so far. It's Houdini as Charlotte Jones is getting lower in the saddle aboard Yukon in second, Legendary Day in third. It looked as though Happy Wife, Happy Life just took a false step there as they approached the turn into the straight, when it just stumbled fractionally, but it's coming there with a run now for Ben Bromley as they head down towards the second last, and it is Houdini, Yukon, Happy Wife, Happy Life.
Life, and just behind them Legendary Day. And involves this front four. They've kicked away from Milltown Lily, and She's a Steal on the run down towards the last hurdle. Yukon in the centre. To the left is Happy Wife, Happy Life. Legendary Day still in the mix as well, and Houdini has dropped to fourth place very quickly. Happy Wife, Happy Life in front there. From in second place Legendary Day. Yukon is in third position inside the last 100 yards. It's Happy Wife, Happy Life and Legendary Day. Legendary Day now in front for Brian Hughes, and Legendary Day on his hurdling debut will collect.
He then ran, he was second to Matchless over Thurles. Keithley is going all right, Joe. In the last 14 days, he's 3 for 7. Like, that's 42% strike rate. But he had 2 runs on the flat then, and he won on the flat the last day. So I'd say they're keeping him away from soft ground, and the good ground tomorrow, I thought, would be suitable to him. There is another horse that has won over course and distance in a better time as well, is Bertie's Wish. But I thought of the two, this was a maiden hurdle. It won on the 2nd of December. Now, it won pretty well that day as well at the course. But I thought that Legendary Day might be the one tomorrow. Maybe a small little reverse forecast with Bertie's Wish, seeing that both of them are course and distance winners. So that's me. Bash the bookies, over and out.